what are the potential risks one should be mindful of before investing in REITs and InvITs?
Ultimately, what we are investing into are either the real estate projects or infrastructure projects, and most importantly, something like a principal repayment or any kind of capital repayment. Nothing is guaranteed. From a risk category, I would just put it into 2-3 buckets, so to say, and first and foremost would be what is the underlying business of that particular InvIT or a REIT. When we are talking about REITs, is it commercial office space that it is offering, or it is a retail mall that it is offering, or it is a combination of the two, or it is, let's say, hotels? And all of these do have their own set of business risks in terms of occupancy, in terms of the lease rentals increasing, in terms of the growth that is going to come in, on what basis is it going to come in, for example. That is on the REIT side. On the InvIT side, depending on the underlying asset class, bulk of the listed InvITs that we see are in the road sector. Now, whether these road projects which the InvIT owns are toll roads, if they are toll roads, then naturally they do face some kind of traffic risk, which is the volume risk at which it is growing, it has grown. The toll risk again, because every year we assume that the toll rates will increase at the wholesale price index, but we would have certain years when it has not gone up. Then what is the implication of that? Let us say that it is an energy focused InvIT. If we are not able to generate that kind of power, then what happens to the revenue base to that extent? Warehousing projects are concerned, whether the occupancy in that, whether it is, there must be some assumptions which are being done that 90% occupied, 95%. If it goes to 80%, what happens? More importantly, the existing projects also face certain business risks. There are certain force majeure events that may be coming through, something like a COVID, something like an earthquake or floods during heavy monsoon area regions, etc. Has that InvIT or a REIT, how are they mitigating these kind of business risks? Is there enough cushion that is available in terms of insurance, in terms of the asset management techniques that they are deploying, the O&M techniques that they are deploying? This is something that I think the investor should look at. The other risk I would categorize is on the balance sheet side, in terms of how robust is the balance sheet of that particular InvIT or a REIT. Now, what do I mean by robustness in that? So in terms of leverage, how are they looking at leverage? Is there any kind of the typical DSCRs, interest coverage ratios, the book on the leverage side, how much of that is fixed, how much of that is floating? If the revenues are inflation linked, then yes, floating rate interest rate is something that they can easily manage. But let's say if it is not inflation linked, for example, transmission service agreements are typically annuity like, so there isn't any inflation linked part of the revenue. So to that extent, then how is the interest rate risk getting managed or mitigated by that particular InvIT? Is the InvIT capable of raising or repaying the debt? Do they have enough sources of raising the debt at attractive rates? So that is the balance sheet risk. Third most important, I would say, for InvITs and REITs across is how are they going to provide growth? Because ultimately InvITs and REITs are perpetual platforms. The whole idea is to keep on acquiring assets and keep on distributing the cash flows generated by these assets. So whether the InvIT or the REIT has capability of acquiring more and more projects going forward and that growth to be deployed, do they have the track record of doing that? Because every acquisition organically or inorganically also requires a particular process, due diligence, approvals, and how is the corporate governance that is being disclosed by that particular InvIT and REIT. While the regulations are, I would say, pretty robust to ensure that all the loopholes to that extent are mitigated. But going forward, how is it that the management is looking at it, the board is looking at it? These are the 3-4 categories: financial risk, growth risk, specific business risk that individual InvIT or REIT is facing is something that needs to be looked at while investors look at investing.